Welcome to jQuery Lesson 1. In the previous lesson, I gave a brief introduction of what jQuery is and introduced you to the jQuery website. In this lesson, I want to show you how to download jQuery and then run a couple of jQuery commands to show you how you can do some pretty cool stuff within your document. But anyways, if you're not already at jQuery.com, you can do a Google search for download jQuery and it will be the first link. But anyways, go ahead and hit download. What this first is one of the latest versions, even though it is on 2.0 down here, and then this is what I was saying in this last video. Yeah, it doesn't support 6, 7, or 8 within 2.0. So 1.9 was the last release before 2.0. But anyways, the way you download it is you click here. That's actually the compressed version. Sorry about that. So you click here. This is the uncompressed version. What this is basically all what jQuery is. You would just copy this, paste this into a JS file, save it out as you wish, preferably some probably jQuery, so that way you know what it is, and then you would pull that in through a script tag. But if you want to actually pull an older jQuery version, all you do within the URL is you change it so it's a 8.1, and then it will pull in 8.1 and so on and so forth to as far back as you want. But what I wanted to show, and then real quick, actually, you preferably want to do the compressed version. The reason why is this is actually a lot smaller than the uncompressed version, and it will run quicker. But the thing that I like to show is what's called the CDN. Basically, what this is doing is pulling in jQuery from the jQuery website. So you don't have to host it onto your own website. You don't have to save the document. You don't have to worry about it take up any space. But to add this, all you do is you copy the tag, you bring it to your document, you paste it in there, and again, I said I wanted to use 1.8, so I changed that. And then the reason why I put this at the bottom of the body tag is because of the way the HTML document is run. HTML and CSS will run first, JavaScript will run last. So you put it at the bottom of your body tag, your document will actually run quicker because it won't hit JavaScript to the end of your document. But to do jQuery, we actually have to have our script tags. And truthfully, I don't need actually all this. I just need scripts, but I like to put in my type, character set, and then async basically means is if the browser supports it, as soon as it can run it, it'll run it right away. Again, if it supports it, it's just for optimization improvement to make it go quicker. But anyways, the first thing I want to do is introduce you to what's called a selector. So this is what a selector is. This is the body selector. You can also have, and this is how you select an ID, is with the pound sign and what it's called, and then with the class, same difference. Basically, whatever you call your ID class within CSS, this is how you would select it. But just like with CSS, you can just do the body tag, body element, and then know what you're referencing to. But the first thing I want to show you is how to add text with jQuery, and that's using what's called Append. And then we'll do a hello world test. And then to end jQuery statement or any JavaScript statement, actually, you do a semicolon. Go ahead and hit save. Go back to here, and then I already have an index file open. We'll hit refresh, and voila! Hello world has appeared within our documents. The biggest thing I wanted to say about append is what it means is it's going to append it at the end of the tags. Just to show you what I'm talking about, another really useful thing within jQuery.com website is the API. This is basically showing all the different things that jQuery is capable of. Within them, it also shows you what version it's supported in, because some of these are supported and were introduced in 1.0. Some were not introduced to 1.7, I'm thinking 1.8. But anyways, the one I wanted to show you is the actual one that we just use, Append. And the great thing is it'll give, it'll give a description and some content specified by the parameter to the end of each element in the set of matched elements. So since we have the one element we had was the body element, it inserted at the bottom of the body elements. But say we want to insert at the top of our body elements. Let's first do something. Let's actually add hello world no jQuery. Let's just add a tag. So here's a good example of what I was just trying to say. So hello world is being appended to the bottom of the body tag while this HTML is staying on top. But if we want to put it on the top of the tag element, we do prepend. Let's actually add a break. And so now we see that our hello world is now before our hello no jQuery because of the prepend. So now it's the top of our body tag element rather than at the bottom of it. So now let's see about actually moving our JavaScript into our head file. As you see now, the jQuery is no longer appearing. This was actually intentional. This is to show you, again, what I first said earlier is the way that the document is rendered. Since JavaScript is last, this actually gets skipped over and it continues on without it. But the way to fix that is what's called document.ready function. Well. All right, so now that we have this, the document.ready, basically what this means is it's going to wait for the document to be ready, and once it is, anything within this function will be fired off. So we saved it. Let's go ahead and refresh it. And now our jQuery is being rendered again. So that's one of the main reasons that it's really useful to always surround your jQuery by document ready. You only need to do it once. You don't need to do it multiple times. Basically what I mean is if you have some more JavaScript down here, you don't need to rewrap this around another document.ready function. You keep them all within that same function, and then it will fire off in whatever order you have it. So basically what that means is this will be fired off before this one, but it happens so quickly that you really don't notice unless you have some kind of test that shows the how quickly one gets fired off. But anyways, you can. What I still do is actually I still keep this at the end of my body tag, and I'm still surrounded by a document.ready. Part of the reason that I do that is usually when I'm using jQuery, I'll have something a little more complex. It'll have 50, 100 lines of code that I'm executing, and I still surround by document.ready, so that way I know each time it should fire off. And then even for older browsers, some older browsers are slower. This will help ensure that once the document is ready, it will fire off this code. If you come from a pure JavaScript background, this is not the same as testing when the window is ready. These are two different things. Just an FYI for you. But at this time, I think it's good stopping points. Don't want to get too much further into it. I think next time we'll actually go back to the HTML document that we created and start doing some cool stuff with jQuery there. I just want to give a quick introduction of what it is, how to do different things. Um, but one of the first things I actually wanted to show you is this $ is actually a shorthand for jQuery. This is actually and with, what it means is jQuery document.ready. So the $ basically stands for jQuery. Within the jQuery code, it is assigned to the $. So if you see again, I'm sorry, if you see this, it means the same thing as this. Again, it's a personal preference. The only real reasons that you want to use jQuery is if you have multiple libraries, like I believe prototype library also uses $, so you have to, within that you use no conflict. You can surround your jQuery by an anonymous function and call a $, but that's getting a little too advanced for where we are in this lesson. In the future we could cover it, but anyways, as I said, this is a good stopping point. Thank you very much for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And then we will continue building onto our HTML documents or possibly something else in the next lesson.